Now, this isn't breaking news, but this has been a developing story for the last few weeks now. And one of our callers asked about it last week, but last week was a very jam-packed week. That hence me not being able to get to the Woman King stuff. But the Boston Celtics, and I know we don't usually talk sports here. I love sports, but it's usually not the type of stuff of this show. But the Boston Celtics have suspended their coach, Ime Udoka, for the entirety of the 2022-2023 season. Now, they have banned this coach who just took them to the NBA Finals a few months ago. Just a few months ago, they weren't playing in the NBA Finals, the possible champions facing the indomitable Golden State Warriors. So this is a big deal in sports terms, but I think it's also a big deal in cultural sense. Now, people who spoke to the Associated Press on the condition of anonymity, because the team did not reveal the detail publicly, said that the team is still wrangling over the terms of the punishment. They said that Udoka violated team policies and left open the possibility that a longer separation could follow, meaning the brother could be fired. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Ime Udoka. He's a former NBA player, came up under Greg Popovich. Northwest Indiana's own Greg Popovich, one of the first, came from what is now considered Maryville. So he's a part of that Greg Popovich coaching tree. And Ime Udoka is a young guy engaged to the famous actress Nia Long. Okay, I know everybody who loved Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or let me see, what else was she? Boys in the Hood, like Friday. Like, Nia Long is one of Black America's most beloved actresses, and they actually have a 10-year-old son together. Now, apparently, Coach Udoka had an affair with one of the wives of the Boston Celtics, the Boston Celtics bigwigs, one of the guys who work in the office, and the woman herself works for the team. Now, again, this does not generally rise above the messiness that is professional sports. We've heard about players, coaches, owners, people in the offices having affairs with members of the media and all this other stuff. This has happened for decades and decades. Now, to me, why this is important, in my opinion, and why this is worthy of further reflection is I believe that this is a response to the Me Too movement that we are seeing in society. Now, I believe it is an overcorrection. An overcorrection. Let me know if you think it's appropriate, what you think would be appropriate. But apparently, these two people having a consensual relationship has possibly derailed this man's career, at least his career in Boston. Now, like I said, for generations, coaches have had affairs with people who worked for the teams, cheerleaders, and everything else, okay? Why is this turned into a season-long suspension and possibly a firing for Ime Udoka? I personally think that it's an overreaction, but because of the cultural climate we are in today with Me Too, the Boston Celtics could not take the chance of this woman coming out and saying that he sexually harassed her or that, something happened, and they don't want to take the chance of getting sued, of getting dragged through the mud. And this just goes to show you where we in America, I believe, go wrong in our cultural dynamics and in our relationship dynamics between men and women, right? Now, for many years, women were definitely oppressed by a lot of the patriarchal rules of our society. I got no problem admitting that. In the 1960s, women couldn't have a bank account without their fathers. They couldn't go to the doctors without, I believe it was a permission slip from their fathers or their husbands. Like there was so many weird rules that we had on grown behind women in this culture up into the 1960s and 70s. Laws, actual laws. So there definitely needed to be a sexual revolution on some level that liberated women from that type of stuff. And so into the 80s and 90s and 2000s, we see the sort of correcting of a lot of those ills that have been perpetrated against women in the past. And that's great. That is absolutely great. But where are we at now? We're at the overcorrection stage. We're at the overcorrection stage where we have begun to view women as basically children, incapable of being responsible for their own actions. Okay, and since these women are not responsible for their own actions, a man has to take the full responsibility, the full brunt of any punishment that comes out of a situation like this. Now, I understand Ime Udoka is the coach. And that's fine, it's great. But a head coach in the NBA is not the owner. And he's not the general manager. And he's not the team president. Hell, I would argue guys like LeBron James and Kevin Durant have more power over teams than any coach does. So it's not like Ime Udoka had the power to make sure that this woman never worked again or something. He's still a relatively young coach. I don't think he's being paid that much because he was still on his rookie coach deal or whatever. He was about to get the bag in a few years, either next year or the year after next, and really get paid, after taking the Celtics to the NBA championship round. But that is probably not going to happen now. I seriously doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I have not heard of any punishment whatsoever being levied at this woman, though. And that is a big part of the problem that I have with this situation. Let me know if you agree or disagree. 219-885-1371. She's a grown woman. She was there, right there with him, apparently in a consensual affair. Emphasis on the word consensual. If the affair was consensual, then both of them should be in trouble if it is wrong and against the rules. But again, I have not heard any punishments about this woman. One of the weird details that have come out in recent days was that apparently this woman was part of the Celtics organization and actually helped Ime Udoka's fiance, Nia Long, the very famous actress, Nia Long. She helped her move to Boston. And Ime Udoka basically had this woman helping his fiance move to Boston with their child just a few weeks ago. And this was after Ime Udoka knew that the affair had been discovered by the organization. Both of them already knew that they were caught. They were just waiting for the punishment to be levied. And this woman actually helped Nia Long move to Boston with their child, and they did not let anybody know. He apparently did not let Nia Long know. Reports are stating that she found out when the rest of us knew, which is, I think it was last week that the story broke. I only feel bad for her, but mostly I feel bad for the child. Okay? Apparently, Miss Long and Ime Udoka have been together for over a decade. They have a child that's 10 or 11 years old. So, I mean, if they were going to get married, they probably would have already done it. Let's just be real here. And so she sort of Exactly. If she doesn't get anything out of this, any alimony or anything other than child support, I mean, again, this is since she did sort of press the ring question. This is kind of is what it is. But the child did not sign up for any of this. Hold on, caller. The child didn't sign up for any of this. And children are cruel. Children are extremely cruel, and it's important to remember that. Everybody out there, whenever you're thinking about doing whatever it is you're thinking about doing, think about your children and how this will affect them for the rest of their lives. Now, I don't care how good of parents Ime Udoka or Nia Long are, there is nothing they can do to save their child from being affected by something so public and so ugly for the rest of his life. This is a kid who got to go to school because apparently he just started school out there in Boston. They just moved there. This is extremely ugly. You have to think about something more than yourselves, everybody. Let me take this caller. Hello, caller.
Yes, I was calling about the conversation that you were having.
Yeah, what's up?
Yes, I totally agree with you. Because at some point, women got to take responsibility for the actions that they present.
Yes.
It's almost the point where men have to have a written consent every time they have sex with somebody to keep them getting. So, like I tell my boys, it's almost to the point. You're going to be somebody that's unknown. Make sure you haven't said, yes, it was okay that we had sex.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pathetic. Because women got to take responsibility because there's a lot of women out there that's flirting, but men got to start charging these women. Every time they come and rub their sex and all that stuff, let them back be considered as harassment. They got a part to play too.
Right.
Now, they got to start stepping up and start accusing these women before they accuse them. Now, that's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you for your call. I absolutely agree. And a lot of us as men, look, I'm just saying, I'm a man. I know just as much as any of you other guys. Look, we got to be responsible for what we do with our willies, okay? It is that simple. You have to let the big head think, okay? Do the thinking, okay? You got to let the big head do the thinking, okay? He should have been thinking about his career. He should have been thinking about his family. And now, unfortunately, he may be losing both. Hello, caller.
Scott.
What's up?
Yeah, you got to run for president, man. I told you.
What'd you say?
You got to run for president.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if I can't solve Ime Udoka's problems as the president.
You cover your wife, then you hey, Scott, I'm telling you.
Well, all right.
No, man, come on. You got to run for president. You know a whole lot, brother.
Well, thank you very much. I'll put that in my cap.
No, mine is a terrible thing to waste, Scott. Seriously.
Well, thank you.
No, I'm saying you realize that what you've been gifted with, and you can't just stay on the radio and talk.
Okay.
Because you're not being effective just doing that. You got more to offer.
Well, okay.
Seriously.
Okay.
Seriously, I tell you this all the time.
Yes,
because seriously, and I'm saying this, and I'm gonna say this in closing, because what you have to offer, Scott, and you see what the other people don't have, Joe Biden and all that, and you a young fella. Come on now, if you want to make a change, you want things to change, and you talk about it all the time. That why this is this, why is that? You got the solution, but you act like you're afraid to get in the pot.
Well, here's the thing. Politics is a very dirty, very corrupt business.
You don't have to be corrupt because it is, Scott.
Well,
what you just said. No, listen to this. What you just said about the big head and the little head.
Yes.
You got a choice, Scott.
Yes, we do.
You don't have to go along because it's dirty. You got to stay clean. That's a choice, right?
Right.
You just got to refer to the little head versus the big head. That's a choice.
Right.
See, what you say will come right back, Scott, and hit you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. See, I'm giving you some wisdom now, not
Well,
just
right.
no conversation. See, because you blow it off with words and you play it off, but it ain't. Scott, we living in a fallen world.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when you talking
Absolutely.
about the where it's dirty, it's crooked. We was born in sin, man.
Mm.
So how you gonna make something straight and get it correct? But it can't come just through the human finite mind, Scott. We got to understand and be realistic whether somebody want to accept this or not. Because how we got here is through creation, brother. No matter how much the finite mind try to be so intelligent, so smart, find a solution, the creator. See, we can't do nothing without who created us.
Right.
And we better realize that and stop trying to think we infinite. We're not infinite. Only God is infinite. That's why we're trying to find the solution. God got the solution. Man is the problem, and God is the solution. I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for your call, brother. You know you can call back anytime.
Right on.
All right. Woo. I know. I mean, I got to figure out who's going to run my campaign. All right, folks, we got to go to a break. When we come back, I want to get into this other sports scandal, the much more important one politically, of NFL quarterback Brett Favre. I'm not really seeing that one covered as much as I'd like to see. Please stay with us. WLTH 1370 AM. I'm Scott Cannon on Issues and Answers Friday.